Make sure people can hear us. All right, I think everything's good to go on the live. Mute myself so I don't hear myself. Perfect. Let's get started. What is up, everybody? Boys, girls, and everyone in between, all of the fellow artists out there, and welcome to ESO Art Studio Stream. We are a studio created by artists for artists. In our sessions, we talk about anything that crosses our mind, grabs our attention, while creating human art. I am ESO, and with me is the co-creator motivator, Lily. Want to say
Hello,
hi to
everyone.
everybody? There we go.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see. So last stream, we were drawing human SpongeBob SquarePants characters. Lily was tackling SpongeBob, and I am taking on Sandy's cheeks. If you want to suggest anything for our next challenge, comment in chat and suggest. And your suggestion could be next. I mean, that's how we got to this challenge. Doc Ock brought the suggestion. Oh, before we move forward, I wanted to thank Dweeb and Ray Cow for subscribing to us on YouTube. I want to really just shout out to YouTube. I mean, you guys are killing it over there. I appreciate all the comments on all of our shorts and joining us on our streams. I mean, you guys are awesome. Also, we have Sandlot in chat right now. Hey, how's it going today, buddy? Thanks for joining us today over on Twitch. I wanted to, if you're watching the stream, be sure to join us on chat. It lets YouTube and Twitch know that you're here and counted. If you're a first-time watcher on Twitch, just hit that follow button. And if you're watching us over on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be able to see more art clips, or if you want to donate over to the studio, head over to our Linkspree link. I have that posted in chat. And be sure to follow Lily on her Instagram and TikTok at Lily Lilac Draws, all one word. And I have those links in chat as well. Other than that, what's been happening this week? Has anything caught your interest this week? Lily, anything come to mind?
The only thing that I'd mention, I went back and got back into Marvel Rivals.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing it for maybe the past 2 weeks. It's changed. It's season 5 right now.
Yeah.
I've been playing since it released, so I played since season 1.
Right.
Ranked season 1, season 2. I placed. I'm sorry. I ended my ranks in season 1 and season 2 in plat.
Yeah.
And I got back into season 5 and a few new characters released. It was kind of hard to get back, but I'm plat again.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty proud of that. But, that's pretty much the only thing that's been catching my eye. And they just now announced that Deadpool is going to be, I think, the next character.
That. Yeah.
Which is going to be super awesome. I also love their take on the character designs. These characters have their signature looks. Of course, their specific color palettes. Like, I don't think you can change those much, but I like the Marvel Rivals rendition of their character designs. Like, they managed to stick to what makes the character look the way they look, but they add a few new things.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, seeing Deadpool's character design for the game is really cool. Like, I'm digging it. I also really like the trailer. I only watched a few clips of it, but it's It's classic Deadpool. He's just being a silly guy fighting a T-Rex, I think,
Yeah.
in the trailer. It's
Nice.
really funny. Other than that, just keeping up with anime. Um, Waiting for the My Hero season finale, which is coming up this weekend. So I'm happy and sad at the same time to see this,
I get it.
yeah, this
Yeah.
anime end.
It's been
But
a long running anime, man.
yeah, it's a good ride. Yeah.
I have I recently started dipping my toes back into Marvel Rivals.
Mm.
I wish I had known you were playing because I would like to get on with you and try to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what characters I like, so I keep going into the Doom arena and I keep going into the Target Practice Hall.
Hmm.
Um, right now, the characters that I'm really liking are like let's see. Moon Knight is really cool. I know a lot of people complain about him because he tends to be a little bit. Um, well, I've heard that people complain about him because he's really easy to use.
He is, but obviously, I think everyone is kind of easy to use.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
few, there's a few that are kind of hard, like high difficulty, like Spider-Man or
yeah. I hear
Venom.
Spider Man's insane, like
Just
crazy
just
to
because the
use.
swinging mechanic is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Moon Knight's a good one. I think he's an easy start.
Yeah, I
But
was liking
obviously
him.
there's
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
There's
definitely
some
a
tips and
newbie
tricks
character.
that you yeah, he is. But I think there's some tips and tricks that you need to understand to better utilize
Yeah.
like each character, and Moon Knight's kind of one of them. It's not super hard to understand how to use his kit, but
Mm-hmm.
uh yeah, just putting it into practice is a different thing.
Well, so far I've been liking him. I've been liking Jean Grey. Grey seems like a really fun character to play.
Oh,
Um,
Phoenix?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
Phoenix. I especially like her design, but that's another one that's been really fun messing around with. And then Rocket Raccoon. I found that I really like playing around with him.
Mm.
Um, let's see, there was one more. There was a tank, but I don't remember which one. Oh, Magneto. Magneto was really I found to be real fun to play, and he's kind of
Yeah.
tanky. And then yeah, so but I haven't had a chance to play with Rogue or Gambit. Um, and
Well,
so
Rogue is releasing today.
yes, yes,
Or
she's
is
releasing
she
today.
out
I don't know.
already
I
today?
thought she was already out, but I could be wrong.
Because I know today was her release date. I don't know what time
Mm-hmm.
today. So obviously, I got home from work and got ready for the stream. So
Right.
I think I'm just now downloading the update. So I don't know if she's in the game right now. She has to be by now, I
Dude,
think.
her
But
gameplay looked awesome.
oh, yeah, it's sick.
The fact that you could steal from other characters is amazing.
I mean, you have to be able to, right?
Exactly. That's her base
That's
power.
her that's her power, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The making her, I didn't see them making her a vanguard or a tank character, but seeing how that plays into her superpower, I think it made the most sense.
Yeah.
So it's a nice, pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone insta-lux Gambit, and he's really cool. I think. And this just might be because I'm kind of dumb, but I was reading the description for his abilities, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a few where you like use his cards, right? And then
Yeah.
you can either raise it or flush it or whatever.
Right, right. Poker
Poker terms
terms.
that I
Yeah.
don't know. But I'm reading I'm reading it and I didn't understand what it was trying to describe to me. I just was watching the little clip of what it does and I was like, okay, this is a knockback when you do this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something. I don't know what that does. But then I watched a little short I think on Instagram, and this top 500 Gambit player was explaining to another, um, just I think casual player how
Mm-hmm.
Gambit's kit works, and yeah, um he's able to cleanse any CC, which is
Yeah.
crowd control. He's able to cleanse it. So like if you're rooted by, for example, Groot's ult, he
Yeah.
can remove it, like for the whole team that's in there. And I was
Huh.
like, what?
That's
Like
interesting.
that was not described unless like I said, I'm really dumb and I don't understand what it's trying to tell me.
Yeah.
It's like I did not get that from the game's description of his abilities. And then the other one is a anti-heal. So if you hit that ability into the enemy team, they're not able to heal. And I was like,
Huh.
what? This
Dude,
dude is
that's
busted.
yeah,
Like,
he's a support role in the game, huh? He's
yeah,
kind of
so
like
those
a
are,
support attack kind of a role in the game.
yeah, all supports have the ability to kill. Like,
Yeah.
every single one of them, which is why I like Marvel
Okay.
Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like no one has a cleanse until Gambit. And
Dude's gonna
no
be
one
OP.
had, yeah, and no one, he already is. And I was like, that's why everyone keeps insta locking him, because he has these crazy powers that I didn't know, because I can't understand what the game is telling me.
which is kind of what they did in the beginning with Jeff, right? Everybody was
Oh,
insta locking him too.
well, I think because he's just freaking awesome.
He's
Jeff is
adorable as
so
hell.
cute. Yeah, he's adorable. But they're all really good. Like every character, even the support characters, have the ability to kill people, have the ability to, you know, withstand on their own,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't feel is the same thing said with Overwatch. Like I feel like
Yeah.
especially for I don't know if you've played Overwatch, but
I've never
like
played it. I've only ever seen it and enjoyed the artwork.
mm, yeah, the artwork and the character designs too for Overwatch were
Yeah.
very I like them a lot. Um
Yeah, I have an art book from the game, even though I never really played it.
really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just like the artwork. The
It's good.
stylization
Yeah.
of it was really cool, and I wanted to see like the artist rendition of each character. Like it gives background into the characters themselves, but I was just like, yeah, I'm not here for that.
But yeah, I think picking up that game too would be kind of cool. I sometimes miss it, but I miss its heyday. Like when it first like I
Mm,
played Overwatch when it first released too.
yeah,
And yeah, I miss I miss it back in
what
the
it
day.
used to be.
Yeah, what it used to be.
Yeah.
I think they've since brought back a few of the missing things just to compete with Marvel Rivals, which is cool.
Hmm.
Like now it has this game to compete with. So now it's like, oh man, now we have to step up our game.
Yeah, because they're
Which,
no
which,
longer the only
yeah,
game
they're
in
not
town.
top dog
Yeah.
anymore. But now I think they're on equal standing now because I think the player base for Rivals has gone down,
Yeah. Yeah, it's finding its niche.
significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I
but
think like in the beginning of a game you always have like this influx of players who want to try it for the first time, and then
oh, of course.
as time goes on you see that player base kind of like plateau as and probably, simmer down just a little bit as like the game finds its true base of players who just really enjoy the game for what it is.
Hmm.
Like I've been whenever I was playing, I was playing. Let's see, what was it? I think it was like it was the beginning of this week. I was messing around with some characters, and I was in that Doom arena. Which at first I thought, okay, in my defense, I thought the Doom arena was nothing but bots, and that's all who I was fighting, right? So I
Hmm.
didn't understand why some characters were like standing around dancing with each other.
Hmm.
And so I would just run up to him and start killing him until I realized like these little chat bubbles started popping up. It's like, oh, what the hell is Moon Knight doing? Fuck you, blah blah blah.
I'm
Because
gonna level with you. I don't know what Doom Arena is.
okay,
What is that?
so Doom Arena is technically, from what I gather, it's a practice area that you can go in with any character, and it's a very it's kind of a small arena that you can run around and test out your character with other real players, right? You're just kind of running around killing people. What I didn't know is that a lot of players treat this as a social space. And so they'll just kind of like stand around, type in chat, and dance and just do, you know, gamer shit, right? Um,
That's kind of cool.
and I didn't
But
know that.
also,
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know that. So I was going in there testing out characters by going what I thought was bots. Okay, in my defense, I thought
Mhm.
it was just AI running around the map. I had no idea none of these were real characters, or I'm sorry, were real players. So I'm running around, doing alts on like groups of people and pissing people off because all they're trying to do is have a relaxing time. I was like, oh my bad, I didn't know. So I had to go into like the practice area. I forgot what they call it, but it's just nothing but target practice on actual robots.
Mhm.
But that Doom area is pretty cool because there is other players who are running around killing people as well. I think there's like one central area within this Doom arena where like players who just want to socialize just kind of hang out in there. Um, but then you have a whole bunch of people just running around griefing too. It's like there was this one dude who was playing Thor, and obviously Thor is a tank, so he's just running around taking out all the what is it called whenever it's just a character who fights only?
DPS.
DPS characters, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was just going around just absolutely obliterating all the players that only had 200 HP.
Okay, so squishies.
Yeah, squishies. um, but still, it's a really fun game, and I haven't downloaded it again. So I definitely wanna get into it. So let me know next time you're on, dude, and you can carry me in the game. Probably, because I'm gonna be pretty useless at first.
Do you are you not interested in playing quick play at least? Because I
Quick
find the
play?
easiest way to learn is just go in. Like
Oh, see, so I haven't gotten that far. I've just only like kind of, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so timid in getting into this game. Um
Hmm.
because it's one of those things like everything about the game I love, right? The artwork is amazing.
Mhm.
The goon potential is out of this world. And apparently they have a furry based Angela, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Oh yeah, I have that skin.
You have that skin.
Yeah,
Just yeah, I had a buddy tell
best
me
skin right
about
there.
that. He's like they have a furry Angela skin, and I said no shit. Whoa, but oh, and I tried playing her, and she is freaking hard to master, dude.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. She's really good.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I think I think characters like that where no one knows how to play against them, which is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm seeing is the problem.
Yeah.
Um it that's the one you should be picking up. Like
Yeah.
she's crazy. Yeah, I love her so much. She's great.
Dude.
I don't usually play. Well, I know how to play every role.
Mm-hmm.
The my least played role is DPS just because I can't aim, which is really funny to say because it's a it's a shooting game.
It's a first person
Um
or third person
yeah.
shooter.
Yeah. You have to know how to yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean I've got since gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I'm not like amazing like these other people. So I don't typically play DPS, so I will play tank or my most played role is healer.
Mm-hmm.
Um s but this season find that a lot of people are just playing healer. Um so I can't play my role. And
Oh,
then, people will insta-lock DPS. So she's like,
yeah.
okay, I gotta learn how to tank now. And yeah, I who are my main tanks? Groot. Groot's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Penny. I
Oh
I
yeah.
I have to toot my horn here. I'm a pretty good Penny.
Dude,
Yeah,
I hear Penny is freaking awesome to play with. Like she can
she's
set
good.
all kinds of traps.
Pro tip, if your team is facing a team that has a lot of divers,
Mm-hmm.
Penny is a really good counter just because
Mm.
they can't shoot at her nest. They have to go up to it and punch it, right? Well,
Yeah.
they can't because they'll die by the time they reach it because of all the little mines.
Right.
Um,
And
so
doesn't
she's a
her
really good.
webbing stop a lot of ultras?
Oh, yes, it can. Like it can. I don't know if it can stop all of them, but I'm pretty sure it can.
There's a good
Like,
chunk. Yeah.
yeah, and it's so satisfying hitting Wanda or Scarlet Witch while
Yeah.
she's ulting in the air and you just thwip.
I hear if people see Wando running around, that's another newbie character.
She is just because you don't have to aim.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, you could just be
the
around
hardest,
her and you hit
yeah.
something.
She's a good counter against divers too, just because they have so much mobility. It's hard to aim at them. So
Mm-hmm.
she's a good counter against that. The hardest thing about Wanda is landing her ult. Because it doesn't hit everywhere. There's an outside radius you can run to be safe. So if you run far enough away from her, you won't get hit. So
Oh,
you'll be okay. Yeah. If you're behind terrain, you won't get hit. And yeah, she's still squishy, so you can still kill her.
yeah.
Um, which is why it's important to tell your team like, "Hey, I have ult. I'm gonna ult soon." So
Mm-hmm.
your healers can focus on healing you while you're ulting. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's a yeah, good pick. Um, but yeah, like I had to pick up tank this season just because no one else wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like Angela's a good pick just because she's tanky enough to dive in.
Yeah.
And yeah, her flying ability, she's so fast. Like she can get in and
Dude,
out.
she is super fast. She's
Yeah.
about as fast as Spider-Man getting in and out of places.
Yeah, which is awesome when you're
Yeah.
wanting to you just have to know who to like, okay, who's my target? Like don't get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Um like I have to go to the back line or I have to go get the Punisher or something like that, right? Or
Yeah.
like I have to go get what's her name? Black Widow.
Mm.
That's I
Yeah.
think that's your sole like goal with picking Angela. But I picked up her and I also picked up Emma Frost.
Oh yeah, she's
That's
also
her name,
tanky,
right?
isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, she's a tank. I didn't know how to play her when she first released, but I've since learned and she's pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, I just need to learn how to build her ult faster because her ult is super useful for because it mind controls them and it
Mm-hmm.
forces them to walk towards you and they also take damage. So
Nice. Isn't
cool
she the
pick.
one that also does the choke slam?
Yeah, she does. So she has a diamond ability where she goes full um melee.
Yeah.
So and gets tank she gets even tankier, so she gets armor like diamond
Nice.
skin. So
Yeah.
she's able to take hits a little bit harder. And she can't be CC'd in that form. Or is it I think it's in her initial when she first activates it, she can't be CC'd, which means can't be frozen, she can't be um
Oh.
stunned or yeah, she can't be slowed, which is pretty useful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh. I need to yeah, I'm gonna be getting more into it. I have another buddy who recently got a better console, so he can now play it and he's been asking about it more and more, but recently like oh man, we're gonna be talking about video games later, but I recently got sucked into Destiny 2 again because they
Oh
have
yeah.
a Star Wars expansion. And then
Oh
yeah, and anything Star Wars, I'm just kind of a sucker for. So
wait, this is their first time doing a
any kind of
Star
Star
Wars
Wars
app?
collab, yeah, yeah. Well, I
That's
mean,
kind of crazy.
yeah, they've had like little ornaments and little features that you can buy here and there that were kind of Star Wars related, but this is the first time like there's a whole ass DLC that's Star Wars inspired.
That's
And
pretty
they're
cool.
calling it Star Wars inspired because technically it is a licensing deal that they have with Lucas,
Mm,
um, with Lucasfilms. So
mm-hmm.
it's like it's Destiny 2. It's like the Destiny universe, but it has Star Wars inspiration in it. But you
Mm.
do get a lightsaber, so I mean the lightsaber sold me. I'm very easy to please as a gamer. Like there's for instance, there was a trailer that recently came out. So, did you have you ever played D&D by any chance? Dungeons and
No, I
Dragons?
haven't.
Okay, so I have dipped my toes into the game before.
Hmm.
It was a failure on my part, and it was 100% my fault. The
Why?
DM, well, the DM that invited us into the game. I've always been interested in D&D. I've always kind of wanted to play it, but I
Mhm.
never, I just could never find the time, or I never knew enough friends that played it in order to make a actual campaign and party, until I was working with this guy, and he came. He was like, "Yeah, I'd like to DM campaigns." I was like, "Hell yeah!" Like, dude, I want to try it out. He's like, "Yeah, come over, build a character, and I'll create a campaign for you, and my cousins will join, and all this stuff." I was like, "Okay, cool, cool, cool." And in my head, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna draw this really cool, dragonborn ranger," and I gave him a
Oh.
really cool backstory, and I didn't know how much homework I had to do for the game, cuz
Mm-hmm.
yes, man, there was a lot of things that I needed to know that I didn't know, and I yeah, I just was not doing well. I
Oh.
wasn't doing well, man. I didn't know what to do in certain scenarios. And unfortunately, I don't think like he really knew how to like hold my hand through the campaign, which is essentially kind of what I needed. Um so like there was a number of times he'd be like, "All right, we were going into this building, and it was booby trapped, and like I didn't know how to use the specific command to you know see if there were, or I think it was called rolling for insight or something like that, whereas like you're trying to figure out if there's something weird about the area. And he was like trying his damnedest to kind of tell me like this thing's booby trapped without like really telling us. But I
Mm.
didn't know, so I was just like, just happy go lucky, be like, I don't even think we ever even got into a fight. We got stuck in a booby trap, and
Oh.
yeah, and
Did you die?
no, no, I didn't. It's even worse than me dying. What ended up happening was what ended up happening was that we could not keep a schedule to meet up, and so the campaign just kind of died out of no one being able to meet up again. And
Oh.
yeah, it really sucked because I'm pretty sure my buddy put in some good time in trying to figure out this campaign, and we fucked it up royally. I feel so bad till this day about it.
Well, I, to be fair on your part, to give you some, you know, some relief.
Uh-huh.
I think it should have been on him to kind of giving you like a baby campaign. And
Mm-hmm.
and I mean in which he has to literally kind of explain things like a little bit more, right? To get
Yeah.
you into the groove of it because it is new for
Yeah.
a lot of people, I would say. Like
Right.
that's a very specific way of playing a game that
Mm-hmm.
that
Yes.
most people wouldn't be used to. Um, so yeah, don't hit yourself too hard over the head.
I mean,
I would.
I think I would like to try again, but
Mhm.
I would have to do a lot more homework into it. I really got to know what I'm doing. It just felt like I didn't know what I was doing the entire time.
Mhm.
But the trailer that I came across is a Dungeons and Dragons video game that's coming out. So I'm a little bit more confident in playing RPGs. I've played plenty of RPGs, um, video games before, so I should be more familiar with this. But the thing that sold it for me was the song that they used for the trailer. Other than the
Interesting.
game looking pretty good, but let me show you what I'm talking about here. Here, I am pulling up the video on stream now, so you
Yeah.
should be able to see it if you're watching stream. I'll tell you as soon as I play it. Let's see, let me make it a bit larger. And I'm gonna play it now. Is
Okay.
Oh man, I saw that trailer
Mhm.
and just the song. First of all, they're playing Tool 46 and 2, which once we get into music, that's like my most favorite band ever.
Mhm.
So the music alone got me in, but then I was like, "Oh dude, it's a Dungeons and Dragons game about warlocks. Dude, sign me up." Apparently, this is something that they showcased during the Game Awards that happened, I believe, a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe, hell, it could have been yesterday for all I know.
Yeah, I think that's where they were announced Deadpool as well
Yeah,
in
yeah, I think
rankings
that's where they announced Deadpool as
sometime
well.
this week.
You know what? Let me see if I can find the Deadpool trailer. But yeah, that game's going to be coming out pretty much on all consoles, and it's a person action adventure game. So it looks like it's going to be fun.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
Let me see. Marvel Rivals
Well, have you
Deadpool.
have you seen anything about this game released a couple years ago? Where is it? On my desktop, or did I delete it? I don't play it. Uh-oh. It's very Dungeons and Dragon-esque.
Uh huh.
And one of the main characters is like a vampire, or one of the characters is a vampire that
Yeah.
you can, and you romance the people. You romance,
Huh.
what is it called? Look, let me go through my library because it's in here somewhere. It's called, nope, that's not it.
You romance the people. I'm down. Hey man, you throw in relationships into an RPG.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. Yes, I know what you're
Baldur's
talking
Gate
about now.
3. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very Dungeons and Dragons-esque.
Ah,
You
that
you literally have to do like rolls, like
I want to try
you
that
have
one
to
out
roll a
too.
dice. Yeah,
How
it's pretty
much?
good.
I wonder how much I could get that one for. I don't know. Like that's another one that I mean it won a shit ton of awards, and I
Hmm.
have been wanting to play it only because my god does it look fun. And plus, like all the different scenarios that can be created just by a simple roll of the die. It seemed as if they thought of
Hmm.
everything. It looked really fun though. Oh, I found the
Hmm.
Deadpool trailer. Here, let me
Okay.
see. Let me pull that up here real quick. All right, I am gonna play it now.
What's up, gamers? It's about time I made Marvel Rivals the most hero-packed shooter ever. But first, some hot redhead is trying to blast my ass a few new holes. Have I got a surprise for her? Boy, this is gonna be fun. Whoa, easy now, fellas. I'm the one who set you free. Oh, hey, this was not the plan. All right, you rejects. Get Tyrannosaurus Rex! Come on! I'm not even a... What's this game's tagline? Ignite the battle! And that's why I have dream movies, baby! Yeah! Now why'd I do this again? Oh, right. She's my rival.
Dude, that looks nuts.
Yeah, I can't remember the character's name at the end, but she's a
That
new one too.
she's a new. Oh, is that Redstone?
I am not
Um,
sure.
Starts with an E. Crap. It looks like they're going with like a Universal Monsters theme because they had the werewolf Captain America and Frog
Yeah,
Thor
the
and the T
what's
Rex.
it called? The variants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they showcased some new skins that would be releasing too.
Yeah.
And one of them is a Lady Loki variant.
Ooh.
So, yeah, so it's pretty cool. I don't know how they're gonna show off these other like there's Frog Thor. Like,
Frog Thor.
yeah, I don't know if
He's.
they're
I
gonna
hope they
give
make him
Thor.
tanky. Otherwise.
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna add that as a skin, and if Thor is just gonna be. Well, obviously they can't make him tiny like a frog, because then you wouldn't be able to see him.
Yeah.
So my only other guess would be he's just a giant frog version of Thor, or
Yeah. That
it's
would make
a
sense.
specific game mode because they did add zombies to the game. I think it's going to be going away soon though. But yeah, I, I don't know if these are going to be skins.
Let me see. I think that the character at the end, her name, crap, she has a big, come on, what's her name? Show it to me.
A big what?
Bloodstone is her name. Elsa Bloodstone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's who it is at the end of that video because that's kind of what it looked like. She's a sharpshooter. She is she had the Victorian look to her and red hair, which could technically be a variant of Black Widow. I mean, if you're really, it technically could be, but if it's Bloodstone, that'd be really cool. Easter egg to put in there. Whenever you have things like Werewolf Captain America, and the T Rex that's in there. That Moon Girl and T Rex. That's her. Is Moon Girl in the game
No, there
or
is no Moon Girl
or
in the game.
Devil Dinosaur? That's his name. They're from the comics. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is like a duo, like a team,
Mhm.
and Devil Dinosaur is like literally a emoting character. And I don't know if Marvel Rivals would just throw Devil Dinosaur in there. You know what? I got a question. Maybe you can answer this for me. Does Marvel Rivals have a PvE mode?
That would be the zombies mode right now.
Okay. So there is
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Well, damn. Now I have more things to look into because that looks freaking awesome. In all honesty, I am down. Let's see what else happened in this past week. Oh, did you hear about Gynax going bankrupt?
I don't know what Gynax is.
So Gynax is the anime production company that did Neon Genesis Evangelion, and they also produced Fully Cooley.
Oh, really? They're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
bankrupt?
Apparently they've
Dang.
gone bankrupt. Um, let's see. I've heard that it could be because they kind of like moved away from creating mangas and was like specializing in like creating pachinko machines, which are
Oh,
is
it's
essentially
an interesting
Japanese
turn
gambling
of
machines.
yeah, but that's an interesting pivot
Yeah,
of
right.
manufacturing or
You know what's funny is that
production.
yeah, Konami kind of did the same thing with their which they recently been getting back on track by releasing the Silent Hill and remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. But for a while there, they were creating pachinko machines themselves. Like they were creating properties specifically for that, which is just a weird, yeah. Like I don't. I mean, outside of like, what are those mobile games called? Gotcha games,
Mhm.
which have been gigantic. I don't know if you've ever played any games like what's the one I'm thinking of? Which one did I get into? I got into why doesn't it come to mind? It was pretty big for a little while. Um it's not
A gotcha game?
yeah, it was
Genshin Impact?
yes, Genshin Impact. I was playing that one for a while.
Hmm.
And then I think Honkai Rel came out after that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hear that, companies like Konami were getting into that because, there's a lot of money in those kind of games. But yeah, yeah, thankfully Konami refocused themselves, but it looks like Gynex did not. And kind of went down on the ship with that one. That really sucks. Although
No worries.
I don't know what kind of anime they were creating as of recently, if any at all.
Hmm. So are they looking to sell their studio or what
I don't
what are
know.
they
That's a good
doing?
question. Oh, they did Gurren Lagann too. Damn. Damn.
Really?
Yeah, that's the same production company.
I thought that was oh, is production company and animation studio different?
No, this should be the same.
Because didn't Studio Trigger work on Gurren Lagann?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me look. Let me see here. That was program creator was no, it was Gainax.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. they held a lot of properties to just go under like that. That sucks. But yeah, they've filed for bankruptcy,
I think they're just probably figuring out what to do next.
right?
They
I
just it just now announced it.
I think Studio Trigger was an offshoot of Gynex production company, because it looks as if a lot of creators went from Gynex to Studio Trigger.
Oh, okay.
Huh? Man, that sucks to see a giant fall like that. Let's see what else happened. It seems. Oh, you know what? I wanted to get your opinion, since we're talking about video games here, of the Street Fighter trailer. To be fair, I haven't seen the trailer all the way through myself. This is gonna be a teaser trailer, so but it is, well, no, this is around 45 seconds, so we're not getting the full trailer yet, which most trailers are usually around 2 minutes. So we're getting a teaser, but let's see what this is like. Let me pull it up here. Okay, let's watch this.
Hmm.
What'd you think of that?
Hold on. Um, why does he keep doing that? I don't think it looks bad.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
just think it's weird to see the characters not as buff as they are in the video game.
Yeah, but technically
Yeah.
that'd be hard to match.
It
Because
would
some
be
of them
hard.
are
It
bigger than life.
I'm not gonna tell these, oh, that's completely
He needs to
unrealistic,
bulk up.
because it really, that is as real as it gets
Mm-hmm.
for, a normal person. Um, and to expect all of the actors to just bulk is crazy, because that would be
Right.
crazy work on your body. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I don't know. I think it gives off the vibe of, at least the vibe that I get from the video games, at
Mm-hmm.
least the earlier ones, like, because the early ones just feel kind of silly,
Oh
like,
yeah.
so it kind of gives that vibe off.
Yeah, whenever I saw this trailer, my first thought was, I think it's interesting that they're trying to have like a pulp feel to it. Do you know what I mean by like a pulp film, where
No.
it's shot a little stylized and kind of raw, kind of like Pulp Fiction. Did you ever watch Pulp Fiction whenever you were younger,
I
or do
have
you
not.
know of it? It's kind of.
I know about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I've seen any clips from the movie,
Oh, I see.
and I don't know anything. It's crazy that I actually don't know anything about the movie, other than a lot of people like to reference it, and I don't get the reference.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
pulp filming is this style of filming where it's kind of a bit more gritty and in your face.
Mm.
and it has a lot of stylized action. It kind of like took its cues from like the old kung fu flicks of back in the old days, while adding like kind of like this spaghetti western type filming, where it's everything feels a little bit more exaggerated. Everything feels like a lot more in your face and raw. I guess that's the best way of putting it. While allowing a lot of like real juxtapo. Why can't I say that word?
Juxtaposition?
Yeah, yeah, kind of in its art form, right? You get like the really vibrant neon colors. I would compare like if I were to think like an anime equivalent um to a pulp film would be something like kind of like Fully Cooley. So that hyper stylized kind of feel to Foley
Mm-hmm.
Cooley is kind of what pulp film is like. And this gives me a lot of that feeling. As far as the costuming of the different fighters, I mean, all those costumes look pretty damn accurate. I gotta say, it's a
Yeah.
far cry from like the '90s Street Fighter movie with Jean Claude Van Damme and all of them. So I don't know. One of the things that I'm always interested in, and one of the things that was a big letdown for me in the original Street Fighter movie is that they really didn't embrace um, the superhumanness of the characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you have human characters that are able to throw fireballs. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
the movie never really embraced that. They kind of embraced the silliness of the costume designs back then, but they never embraced like if you're gonna do Street Fighter, you need to go balls to the wall, crazy. Just embrace all the crazy, right? That's the only way this is gonna be successful. Embrace the shooting fireballs from your hand. Embrace the crazy backstories that exist for all these characters. Take cues from the comic book, you know what I mean? just just go nuts with it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise it from the trailer it looks like something that I do want to check out. If I can sit through like the old Street Fighter movie, I'm pretty sure I can sit through this one. Cuz
Yeah, I
god was that
think
old film terrible.
yeah, I think what a lot of these video game adaptations or um really video game adaptations to movies. I think what how they fail is they they're taken too seriously, I think.
Mhm.
Like they
Yeah.
just oh, we have to do a serious spin on it cuz it's in movie format for some
No.
reason, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't understand why
It's the
just
dumbest thing to
because it's
do.
moving. Yeah, just because it's moving um mediums that it
Mhm.
has to change tone. And no, like
Yeah.
with anime adaptations as well, unless the property itself is serious, of course take it seriously, but
Mhm.
like Dragon Ball Z is, you know, the movie, it took itself too seriously
Uh-huh.
and that's why it failed. Like it
That's
didn't want to
canon now, by
do
the way.
yeah, it didn't want to go it didn't want to embrace the
Yeah,
silly parts of it. Like
exactly.
like with how you were saying they didn't depict Master Yoshi as an old dude with a shell.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
and I I think they explain why he does that just very briefly in
Mhm.
the anime.
Yeah.
But like just show it. Like why do you have to be ashamed? That's a pivotal part of his character, a pivotal part of
Yeah.
the anime is him being the silly old guy who wears a shell,
Yeah.
who's portrays himself as kind of fragile at first and a pervert, but then he's
Mhm.
like actually super buff.
Yeah, one of the
That's
strongest
silly.
humans on Earth.
That's really silly. Like just
Yeah.
be silly, And I think that's the same thing with Street Fighter is yeah, these characters are supposed to be human, but they do superhuman things. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like Chun-Li, for example, she's from Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
She's in there. I knew it. I just just
She's
not
like,
to
I
shoot
know video
myself in the
games.
foot here. Yeah, but she's really cool. She's, super tough fighter, has
Yeah.
legs for days.
For
It's silly
days.
though that she's able to helicopter kick in the
Yeah,
air.
exactly.
Like it's silly that she can do that and levitate for
For God
even
knows how long.
even a millisecond. Like
Yeah.
it should not be possible. So
Mm-hmm.
just embrace that silliness of that. Like
Yeah.
and I think the trailer is giving that um which is cool. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm afraid though that this might be a um Cowboy Bebop situation.
Yeah. That
This
they're
is
gonna
this
catfish us.
Yeah, this trailer is giving me that same type of vibe. Like
Because it's super stylized, right?
it's promising us
Mm-hmm.
this silliness and this super stylized look, which looks super cool, like super eye-catching. Oh man, I really want it to look this way. But then we're gonna watch the movie and it's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I also think that whenever it comes to certain properties, you're right. I think whenever Hollywood tries to translate a property that is a little bit too fantastical and whimsical, they try to ground it in real life. And to a degree, sometimes that works, right? But it depends on the property specifically, right? So, like for instance, if you have a game like The Last of Us, right, where technically it's kind of like a zombie apocalypse game, but instead of zombies, you have these humans who are infected by a fungus, right?
Mm.
The fungus aspect of it and the apocalypse aspect of it, super silly, but the human aspect of it is super grounded, right? So that property was able to port over. If you've ever watched the HBO show, I'm still working through the second season right now, but my God, is that show good? If that kind of a property can be ported over, no problem. You can embrace the slight silliness of it while embracing the grounded aspect of it too. But then, like you said, you have this property like Street Fighter where you literally have people shooting fireballs out of their hands, or you have something, people who can stretch 4 feet at a time, right? And blow fire out of their mouth. You
Defy
have to,
gravity.
yeah,
Yeah.
defy gravity. The fact that Ken needs to be able to do a uppercut with flames coming out of his hands. You have to embrace that. Now, I'm pretty sure, because this is a Western production, the Western audience. How do I put this? The Western audience always wants an explanation for stuff. I don't know why that is, but it always seems to be the case, where it's like whenever there's a translation, the way they try to ground it is that they're trying to give an explanation for why something works the way they did. It's one of the reasons why they messed up Dragon Ball Evolution. I mean, there was a lot of things that messed up Dragon Ball Evolution, but one of the other things that one of the other ways that they messed it up is that they tried to explain the Kamehameha as being an airbending technique, right? Whereas in the manga or in the anime, it was never explained to be an airbending technique.
Air.
Yeah, he was just essentially just an airbender. It's the weirdest damn thing.
Hmm.
But again, it's one of those things where it's like, for some reason in Western movies, Western audiences need an explanation for why something is, instead of just like, no, this is just what the character can do, and just leave that alone. Leave it as it is. So I'm afraid that the Street Fighter film will suffer from the same thing, where there needs to be this explanation for why, Ryu and Ken can shoot fireballs out of their hands, or, there needs to be an explanation for why, Chung Li can do a tornado kick upside down,
Mhm.
It's like, no, we don't need any of that. Just give it to us. Give it to us in all its goofy glory, and, our imaginations will fill in the gaps.
I think I think even if they have to, I think even just a brief kind of okay, that's how it works kind of explanation would
Mhm.
do. Just like I said, just don't take it seriously. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's why Sonic the Hedgehog succeeds as a video game movie adaptation
Mhm.
because they embrace that silliness of this hedgehog alien thing from outer space on
Yeah.
Earth. They don't really explain a lot of things. They kind of do, but it's more show don't tell. I think the only thing that I like that they kind of, like I said, briefly explain, if they had to add it, that's an integral part of the video game into the movie is the use of the rings.
Mhm.
Um, in the video game, they use it as a lifeline.
Yeah, as
Um,
like this, as a
but
portal.
in the video game, but
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
movie, yeah, in the movie, they're like, okay, well, we can't have this character without his rings because that's a part of the video game, right? But we can't explain that as a lifeline because that doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they changed it, but they don't explain that magic.
Yeah.
They just say, oh, that's just how it works, you
And
know?
they don't need to
And
explain it. Yeah.
yeah, I think if they I think if they had to do that sort of thing with any other property like Street Fighter, just do it like a brief like, oh, that's just how it works, that's
Mhm.
how this works, if they
Yeah.
had to. They don't. Like
Yeah, they really don't. Just, let
especially
it
with these
let it be what
characters.
it is.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, just don't take it seriously. Yeah, I'll watch it. Um And unfortunately, I don't think there's gonna be a thing with this movie where it gets bullied, like the studio gets bullied to changing something. I don't think that's gonna be a thing with
Ap-
this one.
Apparently they're bullying Ninja Turtles. Did you hear about that?
W- There's another Ninja Turtles
There's
thing
going
coming
to
out?
be. So
A
so they
movie or
A movie, yes. So they're
really?
gonna create another live action Ninja Turtles movie. Um,
What?
yes, and I was a little bit bummed because they pushed back the Ronin Ninja Turtles movie for this, which I can explain Ronin if you need me to. Do you know anything about that comic book series?
I think I've seen bits and pieces, but I don't really know
Yeah,
much about.
it's a futuristic Ninja Turtles story where three of the four brothers have died and only one
Okay, yeah.
remains. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shredder and his offspring have taken over the city, and the last remaining turtle essentially seeks revenge for his brothers. Um
It's Raphael, right?
no, no, it's not actually. It's
It's
the
Leo?
most talented turtle. Spoilers alert, it's Michelangelo.
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's
Mikey.
kind of cool. I didn't
Yeah, right?
expect it to be Mikey.
Well, the funny thing is that canonically Mikey is the most talented amongst the turtles, but he's the youngest, which is why he always messes up a lot of the times. But the fact that he can goof around as much as he does, while at the same time being able to like demolish his foes, a good obviously with his brothers, but he's carrying a certain amount of skill into the fight, and that's him goofing around. Imagine whenever he locks in.
Mm. So when
But
you say talented, you mean like combat wise?
yes, yeah, he's
Okay,
probably the most gifted brother amongst the four.
that makes sense.
But the thing is, like in the comic book, they play it a lot grittier. Obviously, Mike is a lot older, and he is pretty much he's a broken turtle in this story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so good. I think I currently have there's 2 volumes of it. And I'm pretty sure there's more, but I only have 2 so far, and it's a really good story. And I had heard that they were in pre-production for creating that story, but they pushed it to create this new live action Turtles movie, and they said that they're going to Sonic-fy this Turtles. So it looks as if they have been bullied to kind of like take the design of the Turtles back to what they originally were, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to what we got in the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, which was just an outright abomination for the most part.
Okay, yeah, they're kind of freaky looking,
They are,
to
man.
be fair. But if you had to make like a real life turtle
Mm-hmm.
creature thing that's
A mutant
as
turtle.
tall, if not taller than you,
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job
Well, the thing
compared to
is,
Sonic.
I mean, they're they're
Like,
they're supposed to be teenagers. Number one, right? It's in the name,
yes.
and they
Mm-hmm.
are mutants. But it's like it. Well, it was plagued by what always plagues Western productions, right? You're trying to make it realistic,
Yeah.
and that's where you're messing up. That's where they messed up with the first design of Sonic. They tried to make him look too realistic, and everybody was like, "No, don't do that. We need a video game accurate Sonic."
Yeah. And the first iteration of Sonic was cute. So like not making him cute,
Oh, you're talking
it
about the video
defeats
game version, not the
Sonic. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
His first iteration is this small, cute
yeah,
hedgehog,
yeah,
cartoony style,
mm-hmm,
right? So if
yeah,
you're gonna make a, if you're gonna think about this in a quote unquote realistic sense, which,
mm-hmm,
you know, the the way they changed him now, not at all realistic, but is cute, right?
right.
So yeah, you can't remove the cute.
You can't
Um,
mess with the formula, man.
Yeah, you just can't. I don't know. I feel a little weird about the turtles though because okay, I think I'm envisioning in my head
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know which live action because they've made a few live action
They have.
movies of the turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the ones where it's the practical effects where the
Oh, the
actors are in
'90s
those
version of the
costumes.
Turtles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what I think, and that's why I think the last live action movie was okay because it kind of looks like that,
You
but
know what?
more realistic.
You're not. I would have to agree that if you're basing it off of the '90s movies, the '90s movies Turtles did give you something of a little bit more grittier, realistic looking turtle. Um, and you're right, the Michael Bay movies, for all its faults, did go with something that looked closer to an actual turtle. Granted,
Yeah,
an alien looking turtle, but it definitely a turtle like being.
yeah,
Um,
a mutant.
yeah, a
They're
mutant
mutants,
turtle.
right? So,
Yeah. I think what they're trying to do is they're probably talking about the aesthetic that you get from like the '90s cartoon, or
mm,
even possibly the 2000s, the 2010 cartoons,
mm,
where they're a little bit more stylized, they're a little bit more cartoonish looking. They're not as abrasive looking as the live action films. Um, and if they go that route, I mean, sure. And plus, the turtles are supposed to be short. If you're trying to remain accurate to the
Really? How
oh
short are
yeah,
they?
they aren't. See, in the cartoon, they are shorter than April O'Neil. So
A teenage,
yeah.
the teenage April O'Neil or the?
Oh no, the adult April O'Neil.
Okay, so maybe like 5'2".
Yeah, I would probably put them somewhere around like at the most maybe 5'5".
Mm.
And in the comics, technically, they were pretty short as well. If you've ever read any of the Eastman comic books, they were pretty short. Like they weren't like super short, but they were short. They didn't look like monstrosities, right? They were
Oh,
supposed
and
to be
Michael
able
Bay,
to.
they were made too tall.
Yeah, they were made to be like. Well, I think the problem with the Michael Bay movies is that they made the turtles um impossible to be stealthy and ninjas, right? They're supposed to be ninjas. They're supposed to be able to blend in with the environment. They're supposed to be able to hide in the shadows. And in Michael Bay's films, those things couldn't hide in the shadows to save their lives.
Yeah, I think they did a little joke where they tried to hide behind something and they were too tall.
Yeah, they were too bulky and big. Yeah. you gotta and maybe that's what the studio means by sonicifying the Ninja Turtles. Maybe they're trying to take them back to something that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, like they did with the Sonic movie, right? Like whenever that first trailer came out and people saw the realistic looking Sonic, they were like, "Hell no, we don't want that." And the
And I'm
movie
glad
studio
they did.
listened. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The
I'm
movie
glad, and
studio
I'm sure
listened.
they're glad they did
Oh
because
yeah, because
holy crap.
oh dude, it
Um,
it made them a crap ton of money past that point.
but that's to say, I'm kind of disappointed to hear that they're making a another live action TMNT.
Mm-hmm.
Because have you seen the last animated TMNT that came out?
Yeah, the Mayhem one.
Mutant Mayhem? Yes,
Yeah. I've
I
seen it.
really like that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
I
I think my only gripe with that one was the voice acting. But outside of that, I thought the aesthetic of it was awesome, actually.
Who's voice acting?
Um, okay, so this is
I
being
thought the kids did a really good job.
this is me being nitpicky, okay? So my issue was that I thought the kids, as far as being personalities, or not personalities, as far as being fun, right, and teenagers, I thought the kids did really well. They played really well off of each other. You know, they had a really cool vibe about them. They were teenagers. They were just fun teenagers.
Yes.
My issue is that amongst the four of them, based on their personality and the way they talked alone, I couldn't tell the difference between them. Does that make any
Hmm.
sense? So, like for instance, you know that Michelangelo is going to be the party crazy one. He's the goofball, right? You know
Yeah.
Donatello is going to be the nerd, the geek. He's the techie one, right? You know
Mhm.
that Raphael's going to be the hothead. Can't seem to keep his anger under control, right? You know that Leonardo is going to be the one who's the leader, trying to keep the rest of the team calm. Amongst those four distinct personalities, whenever you watch any of the old 90s cartoons or even the 2012 cartoon, though their voices and personalities distinctly held to the turtles, right? Like you could tell which one was which just by listening to them. In the new movie, even though I really love the aesthetic of the movie, I like the story of the movie, I like the character designs of the movie. Whenever it came to the voice actors, even though they were fun, right? I'm pretty sure those voice actors in any other property would be just as fun. But as far as being able to um, fill in the personality of each turtle, I don't think they did a very good job. To me, they all seemed like Michelangelos. It was just a group of Michelangelos. Which is fun, it's super fun, but that's all they were, right? They were just goofy kids, which you know, which is what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be goofy teenagers, but each one has a very specific personality, and I don't think the voice actors did a good job in him. Or you know what? It may not even be the voice actors. Honestly, it
Might
could
be
just
the
be the writers.
director.
Yeah, it could just be the writers and the directors. The writers and directors didn't give each turtle a distinct voice, and a distinct personality. And I think
Yeah.
they allowed the voice actors to just kind of riff off of each other.
Hmm.
Which, if you're doing like you know, if you're just doing a simple, um, teenage comedy, having teenagers riff off of each other is really fun, especially whenever they're good actors. And all four of these teenagers were really good actors. They did a great job. But as
Hmm.
far as like honing in the personalities of the Ninja Turtles, they really screwed that up. Like, I wish they would
Yeah.
have just locked in a little bit, or at the very least the writers and the director would have locked in, which is weird because this was a movie that was produced by what's his name,
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Yeah, and man,
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's got the golden touch whenever it comes to other stuff that he's produced. Holy crap. Like, I've enjoyed a good majority of properties that he's helped produce. But and I enjoyed this movie, but it's like I said, my only in it again, it's a nitpicky gripe, but my only gripe is that I could not tell the difference between each turtle's personality. That they all were just kind of the same turtle. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. I think they could have added a few more
Mm-hmm.
lines that made it obvious that each, like, Donatello was a nerd, and
Mm-hmm.
like make mention of him like watching anime and stuff,
Yeah.
but they didn't really go into other things that could have made him a nerd, which was, oh, his, like, he's very technologically savvy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really go into that. Michelangelo, I think I have a soft spot for a Michelangelo.
Same.
But this one, he comes off as more timid
Mm-hmm.
and shy. Yeah, and that might just be they just wrote him off to be like the youngest brother.
Yeah.
Um, but he's supposed to be like a little, like, he cracks jokes and,
Exactly.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and kind of ditzy, which they
Yeah,
don't really
exactly.
do. Um, my I think the most successful one was Michelangelo at
Mm-hmm.
being kind of like a leader. Obviously, this is them, like, their start off story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
This
feel
is like
like,
their year one.
yeah, I feel like you could get away by saying, "Oh, they're not fully fledged yet because they haven't been able to go out into the world."
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I can see that being the argument, but yeah, you don't really see that with these characters. Mikey uh being silly. Leonardo, I meant Leonardo, sorry.
Oh
Leonardo
yeah.
being leader. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
only one that shows off being a leader, kind of. And then Raphael is kind of like, he does show off that he has kind of like an anger issue, and he, like, oh, I don't really care, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were able to characterize that, but I think, yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I did love this movie.
Oh yeah, I did. I
Um,
like the movie too, for sure.
yeah. And I like I say with a lot of animated properties, I think they excel so much in the realm of animation. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a little saddening to hear that they're going live action again, because it's
Yeah.
like, you were successful. I don't know how successful this last movie was, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's why they're doing it in live action. But like, which is also sad to hear that the
Yeah.
the movie might have not
May not have
done
performed as
well.
well as they wanted it to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but man, like,
I know, right? It's
I'm a
like
little sad. Yeah.
I kind of wish they would have kept, or and maybe they can do both. I don't know. But the animated, or creating animated movies of the Ninja Turtles, you can do a lot more with it. Um, and like I said, whenever it's a live action adaptation, they tend to get a little bit too serious, or they try to
Mm.
base it in the real world a little bit too much. And I'm hoping that if they're gonna do this, I hope they stray away from that. If they're gonna Sonicify this, that's fine. I'm fine with if they're gonna Sonicify it, but just kind of, I don't know. I guess I got to see what the first look of it ends up being.
You've been
But I'm
silly.
yeah, I'm still
Silly.
bummed that they got rid of that they're getting rid of, or at least putting on the back burner, the Ronin story, because
Yeah.
that also would have been a really fun story, or at the very least a more adult Ninja Turtles story,
Hmm.
which we haven't seen technically. I don't know. I guess Ninja Turtles was always a teenage property. It'd be fun to see an adult version of that. If you're gonna go down a realistic route, that's probably the route you would want to go down. But I
Yeah.
don't know how many people would be able to accept a kind of like rugged, vengeful ninja turtle. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I guess the last thing I wanted to show was the new Supergirl trailer that just came out. Um, you said you have not seen the Superman movie just yet, right?
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay. And as far as DC movies, you're not much of a fan?
No. I've watched. I don't think I've even watched the Batman movies. Like the earliest memory of a DC film is
Mm-hmm.
like the. I don't even know the director, but was it Tim Burton that
Oh, you
directed the
talk
really weird one?
which one? Are
Is
you
it the
talking
one with
about
Poison Ivy and
Batman
the
Forever.
Penguin? Was that Tim Burton?
That was not Tim Burton. Batman Forever was Robert, dang it, what's his name?
Zemeckis?
Was it Zemeckis? I don't know. Hold on.
I'm
Batman
sorry.
Forever.
I don't know real people.
Yeah. Real people, really. Joel Schumacher. That's who it
It was
was.
not anywhere near
Zemeckis. I
any
mean, we
of
were
the
kind of
people we
close.
just named. But that's okay. I remember that film,
Yeah. So, do you
and
know?
that was fine.
Do you remember the Phantom of the Opera movie? Did you ever watch that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, all right. That's a Joel Schumacher kind of a
Okay.
film.
Hmm.
But whenever it comes to like Batman Forever and what was the other one? Batman and Robin, I am not. I usually block those out of my head. Because my first Batman film was the Tim Burton ones, which is like Batman 89 and then Batman Returns, which is the one that had Penguin and Catwoman, right?
Oh, see, I knew he did direct a Batman
Yeah, he
film.
directed the first two Batman
I remember
movies.
those
Yeah,
like bits and pieces.
right. Those two really good movies. Batman Forever then came along. It wasn't terrible. It was Joel Schumacher instead of Tim Burton.
Mhm.
Um, and then we had the Val Kilmer Batman, which wasn't great, but I did like Jim Carrey's Riddler, and I did like what's his name? Two Face. Crap, what's the actor's name? What's his name? Crap. He played in Men in Black. He played the older agent. Um
I won't know.
yeah, dang
You,
it. I'm
you'll
so
you'll say
terrible
his
with
name and I
names.
will remember, but I just don't know. I really
Tommy Lee
don't know real
Jones.
people.
Tommy Lee
Okay, there
Jones
you
is
go.
who I'm thinking of. um Jim Carrey's Riddler was really out there. It kind of seemed as if he was playing the Joker instead of the Riddler. But he was entertaining to watch, and Tommy Lee Jones really nailed it as Harvey Dent. But then you had the introduction of Robin, which Robin wasn't a teenager in the movie, but was like a 20-something-year-old guy played by Chris O'Donnell, which is kind of weird. Um, it just, yeah, those two movies I don't acknowledge very often because they were just so. I always talk about comic book movies embracing weird and embracing um the fantastical, but those Joel Schumacher films really did embrace them.
Too hard. A
Too
little too
much,
hard.
a little too hard, especially coming off of the Tim Burton Batman. You know what I mean? Like that
Mhm.
was a whiplash, whiplash of movies there. Um, but so those are the only Batman films that you remember. Do you remember any Superman films from the past that you may have watched?
Oh my gosh. I remember some of the very early um age
Oh,
Superman
we're talking like Christopher Reeve
films.
Superman.
Probably,
Yeah, like
yes. Like
70s version.
really like way,
Way,
way
way,
before
way
time.
back. Yeah.
Um
For my
like
time.
this is VHS type stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
which is what I watched it on. The only recent stuff I know from DC would be I watched Justice League. It was
Mm-hmm.
not good.
No,
I hated
no.
it.
It was
It
bad.
was so bad. I
Mm-hmm.
watched Suicide Squad. Didn't like it.
The first
It
one?
was, yes,
Yeah, that one was
disappointing.
pretty terrible too.
Very very bad. Very good content to laugh at, but
For sure. It was
very
good
good.
for a laugh.
Yeah, so I just have not, and then it's competing with Marvel, and Marvel
Yeah,
hit it
Marvel
off
was like
so
out of the park.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it's just like, I'm sorry. Why would I go into watching this when I have this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And plus,
But that's to say, yeah, I haven't watched the
plus
Superman film.
the DC movies are so you have to take DC movies by era, right? Because none of the
Mm,
DC movies, well, there's like chunks of DC movies that fit together and chunks that don't. And if you're not familiar with the properties and the how the movie studio was arranging some of these movies, it's really hard to keep up with, right? So
mm,
for for instance, the Tim Burton Joel Schumacher movies are technically all supposed to be one era of Batman, right?
mm,
That is one. They're supposed to be direct sequels of each other, even though the first half looks way different from the second half, right?
mhm,
Then you have, if you're talking about Superman, the old Christopher Reeves Superman, I think that went up to like Superman 4, but I don't think anybody acknowledges Superman 3 and 4 for the most part. And those are its own movies that were produced back in the 70s and 80s, right? Then you had the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, which is like Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises, right?
mhm,
Um, those are standalone Batman movies. They're not connected to any greater universe, just like the previous Batman series and the previous Superman series. None of them intermingled with each other. They were just all standalone, right? And
mhm,
then you have what I call the Zack Snyder universe of DC heroes. And the Zack Snyder universe was, um, let's see, it started off with Man of Steel. After Man of Steel, it was Batman versus Superman. After Batman versus Superman, Wonder Woman came out, Aquaman came out, and then finally Justice League came out. And all those movies are in the same universe. And I even believe, yeah, Aquaman. I think Aquaman 2 is in the same universe. And technically, within the same universe is also Shazam and Black Adam. All seven of
mm,
those movies all take place in the same universe. And that's the Zack Snyder verse, right?
okay.
And then you have this new universe that's coming out, which is the James Gunn universe, right? James Gunn is the same director from Guardians of the Galaxy. So far he has been credited with creating the second Suicide Squad movie, which was definitely better than the first. The Peacemaker TV series, the Superman film that came out, what was that? Earlier this year? I believe it was earlier this year. And then this new Supergirl movie that's about to come out. And so James Gunn is the one that's kind of like, he's like the Kevin Feige of the MCU, but for DC. And so he's creating his own DC universe. If I were to suggest watching any DC films, man, oh man, to keep from getting confused. Now, what you have to know is that the James Gunn universe, that is its own standalone thing. It has nothing to do with any of the previous DC superhero movies. So you can just forget all the previous ones once the second Suicide Squad movie came out. And then, man, even the second Suicide Squad movie. Oh, do you remember the movie The Flash? Do you have a recollection of that movie?
Which one?
It was called The Flash. It had what's his name in it? It had what's this dude's name?
Did it just come out recently?
I think it came out last year, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think, let's see, what's his name? The dude is infamous. Oh, Ezra Miller. It had Ezra Miller in it.
Okay.
And it also had Michael Keaton in it, which was interesting. They brought back like the old Batman. But that movie belongs to the Zack Snyderverse technically as well. So you can forget that one as well. So yeah, this new iteration of the James Gunn universe, I think, is significantly better. Only because, I mean, James Gunn has he has a track record of doing really good comic book movies. I mean, he's the one that did all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and those were some of the top tier MCU, or that was one of the top tier MCU trilogies, right? So he has his hands in all of the properties of Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, or The Suicide Squad, which is the second Suicide Squad movie, the Superman movie. And the last Superman movie was pretty good. But you have to take it as its own new universe, or at least that Superman movie was the beginning of that universe. And Supergirl is almost a sequel to the Superman movie. And they just got through coming out with their trailer, which I am going to put that up on stream now. And let's see what this is like. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to play it now.
To get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. Hi, Cars Orel. Hereby declare the 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Proton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What's Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
So you said this is in the same this is under James Gunn?
Yeah. It's being
Okay.
directed by somebody with the last name Giuseppe.
Yeah.
But James Gunn is the executive producer.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
It definitely gives off that vibe
Yeah.
of like he has a signature style, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very
James Gunn.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
which is not a complaint. I
Yeah.
really like Guardians of the Galaxy. I like I don't know the character of Supergirl. I don't know her characteristics.
She is. Let's see. A quick run through of Supergirl would be. She's the cousin of Superman, who was one of the few people to survive the destruction of Krypton, which is Superman's home world.
Mhm.
She was sent off in one of the space pods, like Superman was whenever he was little. Only that during her travel trying to get to Earth, her ship got knocked off course and she got lost. So she came to Earth later, and she's technically older than Superman, but because she got lost in space for a little while, Superman looks older than her. So technically, Supergirl is Superman's oldest cousin. So she has the same powers as Superman, but her personality here in this movie is different from her personality or what's been betrayed of her in past productions and past comic books. Some people in the comic books have portrayed her kind of in this way, where she's kind of like a jaded Kryptonian because she was much older than Superman whenever Krypton collapsed. So because she saw the downfall of Krypton, she's more jaded and more guarded than Superman. And then some people portrayed Supergirl as being kind of like this happy-go-lucky character, kind of like just a female version of Superman. It looks as if James Gunn is going to go with the first interpretation, where she is a lot more jaded than Superman, and a lot more cynical towards Krypton, what happened to Krypton, and pretty much her place in in the universe, whereas Superman has taken on kind of like this guardian role. She's not going to take on that role very easily if they're going according to this version. But the trailer looked pretty interesting. If it's going to be a direct sequel to Superman, and then it looks as if from some of the things that I saw in the trailer, they are hinting at a supervillain that I've been anxious to see in a movie. They've showed him plenty of times in like TV shows. But if I get a live action version of him, that's gonna be real fun. But I don't wanna give any kind of guesses yet, just in case there's spoilers. Oh, you know what? Have you seen? I guess you you haven't. But on HBO, there's also a couple of TV shows besides Peacemaker. There is a Poison Ivy TV show, and it's really
Is
funny.
there?
Or I'm sorry, not Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, but Poison Ivy is in,
Oh,
yeah,
the animated one?
yeah, the animated one.
Yeah, I've seen a few clips from that, and
Okay.
I've heard it was really good.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's
And
super
from what I've
funny.
seen, it looks really good too.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I definitely enjoyed that show. If they had the character that I'm thinking that they're alluding to in that show as well, and that show is kind of underneath the direction of James Gunn as well. I don't know
Wow.
if he's claimed that it's canon, but unfortunately, within the DC universe, there are a couple of properties that are going on right now that technically aren't canon to James Gunn's universe. Like, for instance, uh, uh, Robert Pattinson's The Batman. Technically, that universe is not within the James Gunn universe. It's kind of like its own standalone thing. Along with the Batman spin-off, The Penguin, that was on HBO. But I haven't seen that one, but from what I keep hearing from friends, that one's really good. But yeah,
I
it looks interesting.
so are there so many cutoffs in universes just because of how these movies performed, I'm assuming?
I think you're onto something there, right? Where
Because why do they keep doing it?
why do they keep rebooting the universe? Well,
For example, why do they keep making so many? I mean, it's the same thing with Spider-Man. Like, why are there
mhm.
3 sets of Spider-Man? You
It
know?
yeah, it's really because of production companies. Whenever
Mm.
it comes down to it, right? So with the DC, they've tried to boot up a DC comic book universe. This is now the second attempt. Well, technically, you know what? I'm gonna get real nerdy here, but get ready. This is the third attempt that DC has tried to make a combined universe of DC heroes. The first time they actually tried creating a combined universe with the original Tim Burton Batman. They had
Wow.
Tim Burton on to direct a Superman film that never came to that never came in or that was never produced. And in that Superman film, Nicolas Cage was going to play Superman, and it was going to be written by Kevin Smith. But because it never went into production, and because after the second movie, Tim Burton was no longer directing the Batman movies, it fell apart. Then DC tried doing it again with the Christopher Nolan Batman films, because it was around that time where the Brandon Routh's Superman came out. I don't know if you remember that. This was probably somewhere around the 2010s. And this was a Superman film that was almost a direct sequel from the Christopher Reeves films. And Superman was played by Brandon Routh. It was directed by what's his name? The same guy that directed the first X-Men movies. Oh no, I don't remember his name. But he's the one that directed that Superman film, and that Superman film kind of flopped, but the Batman films did well. So those universes were never connected. Then you finally then came along the Zack Snyder universe, in which they were finally able to create a Justice League that, DC or Warner Brothers to be exact, have been trying to create a Justice League movie forever, and they just could not get on the right foot for it. They finally got the Justice League in the form of the Snyderverse, but then that movie fell through. So this is technically the fourth time Warner Brothers and DC have tried relaunching their universe.
In the span of what?
In the span of
30 years?
yeah, since the 90s,
Oh my
roughly
gosh.
since the 90s. This
That's kind of crazy.
well, it's it seems as if the DC properties are cursed, right? Because now you have they finally have a good executive producer kind of like being a watchful eye over these DC properties in the form of James Gunn, right? And he is showing the most potential to be able to create a superhero universe that is akin to Marvel, but its own thing, right? But now Warner Brothers has now gone has is now going through its second buyout. Um, Beforehand, Warner Brothers was bought out by Discovery, and now it looks like it's going to be bought out again by Netflix, or potentially be bought out by Netflix now. So people are worried that this James Gunn universe is going to crumble if Netflix doesn't want to continue to create this superhero universe or put resources into it. So yeah, now we're having to deal with that.
Interesting.
The DC universe is cursed, man. It really is.
It's the same as like Sony with the Spider-Man.
Oh my god, that's a
films.
whole other thing. That's a whole other
Those
thing.
are really bad.
Oh my god. So
I don't know why it is that Disney, not even Disney. Who
Mhm.
was it?
It
Who
was
was
Sony.
it that owned the Marvel?
Oh wait,
Was
that
it the
owned the Marvel what?
the Marvel properties before Disney purchased them?
So before Disney purchased them,
Well,
Marvel.
it was just a bunch of studios that owned
Yeah,
each
I
of the
think
properties, right? But
Marvel was like partnered with Paramount to create, or was it Universal? I don't remember. They created the first Iron Man, I believe, with Paramount as a
okay.
distributor, but Marvel was their own like little studio.
Oh,
And
yeah, okay. So Disney purchased Marvel Studios. I
yes,
remember that.
yeah, they purchased
So
Marvel Studios after, I believe, the Incredible Hulk movie.
really?
Mm-hmm.
That
Because
that was
technically
a
this,
while ago then.
yeah, technically the second movie to come out from Marvel was Incredible Hulk. But
Yeah, and
because
that was
that
not
was, yeah, that one was in conjunction with Universal, because Universal owns the rights to the Incredible Hulk. So
Mm.
Marvel Studios partnered with them to have that one created. But after that one was created, that's whenever Disney bought out Marvel Studios, and then from there, Disney has been their parent company, I guess you could say.
So it has been under Disney that Marvel has been
Oh yeah.
successful.
Oh yeah. I would
With
credit Disney for being like the deep pockets that have allowed Marvel to flourish.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame. Uh, I I don't know if they just know a good director, good producer, all that good stuff
Mm-hmm.
who see the vision,
Yeah.
cuz that's just not what's happening with the Spider-Man
Well,
universe
yeah.
or the DC universe at all.
I think whenever it comes to Marvel, you have Kevin Feige, which Kevin Feige is the executive producer for all Marvel films. And that man loves comic books, which is why the MCU has been as good as it has been.
Because you
Whenever,
have to have someone who knows,
yeah, who knows the
who loves
material.
the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
makes sense.
technically, Kevin Feige has been around in like junior executive roles or assistant roles ever since the first X-Men. Like he was at Fox at first, doing the original X-Men in the background, kind of like telling some of the head producers like, "Hey, maybe you should do this. Hey, maybe you should do that." And then it wasn't until he finally took on the head role at Marvel that he was fully allowed to kind of just like have creative control over stuff like that. And
Mm.
he's been doing a great job. Like I as much hate as the MCU gets nowadays, I think Kevin Feige is he's the man. No, homie he is the goat to me whenever it comes to superhero movies. If it wasn't for
Yeah.
him, we would not have the kind of superhero zeitgeist that we have now, right? And I think James Gunn, because James Gunn is a comic book fan, he can be that for DC. Um, Sony, Sony has screwed the pooch too many times.
They have. It's disappointing.
Yeah, like okay, so you had the original Superman trilogy, which was Superman 1, 2, and 3, which is
Was that with
the
Sony?
yes, that was with Sony, and that was
Wow.
the Maguire. What's his name? Something Maguire. Why can't I think of his first name? Joey Maguire? No. Something. Why can't I think? God, I am terrible with names. I'm surprised most people who have met me still stay my friend because I always forget their names.
No, you don't.
2002. Let's see. Toby Maguire. Toby Maguire. So those were the
Okay.
Toby Maguire Spider-Man movies. The first two movies, great movies.
Oh, I thought you said Superman.
No, Spider-Man. So
Yeah, Spider-Man.
yeah, Spider-Man is a Sony property,
Yeah.
or at least they own the rights to the movie rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So you have those three are the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. After you had the third movie, and technically all three were directed by Sam Raimi. Do you know who Sam Raimi is by any chance?
I know that he's known for the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, but he's also known
The
for
first
like
two.
the Evil
I
Dead
think the third one
movies,
wasn't.
and
Oh,
then
okay.
and then he's also the one that directed the Doctor Strange movies.
Oh,
But he did those first three movies, and by the third movie, the studio got too involved, and they included too many villains. You know, they had like Venom, and they had who was the other
yeah.
one? They had Sandman in that
Sandman.
movie, and they had
The Green
the
Goblin's
Hobgoblin.
kid. Yeah, there
it
you
was
go.
it was too many villains for the movie. Sam Raimi has gone on record saying that it wasn't his idea; it was the studio's idea. They pushed it. Sam Raimi was gonna direct Spider-Man 4, but because Spider-Man 3 didn't perform well, mainly because of studio interference, they got rid of Sam Raimi and then they brought somebody else in to create The Amazing Spider-Man, which came out shortly after Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man was supposed to be kind of like a continuation, but what they did is that they made it a reboot, and that was the what's his name? Who played that one?
Andrew Garfield.
Yes, that's the Andrew Garfield movies. They did two of those of the Amazing Spider-Man movies,
Mm-hmm.
and then something happened at Sony where a number of emails linked. This was around the time where the MCU already created the Avengers. They were on, they were on a hot streak, and they were in negotiations with Sony to include Spider-Man into their movies. After the Amazing Spider-Man 2 flopped, Sony was kind of between a rock and a hard place, and the MCU was able to gain some creative rights of Spider-Man back and use Spider-Man within their properties, and that's how we have the Tom Holland Spider-Man now, right? So Tom Holland, I always consider him the Marvel MCU Spider-Man because Tom Holland was selected by Kevin Feige. All the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies were creative, or Marvel or the MCU had creative control over those movies. So I don't consider Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home to be Sony movies. I consider them to be MCU movies because Kevin Feige executively produced those, right?
Yeah.
But you did have a number of spin-off Spider-Man movies that Sony did create, right? So Sony created Madam Web. They
Mhm.
created the Venom movies. They created the Craven the Hunter movie, and then they created
Morbius.
Morbius. They created the Morbius movie.
Mhm.
And well, I consider the Miles Morales Spider-Verse movies to be Sony Animation. And
Mhm.
Animation, although it's part of Sony Films, I don't know what their prefix or Sony Entertainment, is that what they're considered? I don't know how Sony split up, but Sony Animation is its own thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So Sony is creating these really crappy Spider-Man shoot-offs that have nothing to do with Spider-Man, and those movies just keep flopping and flopping and flopping. And as far as I know, Sony's not creating any more Spider-Man spin-off movies. And I think
Good.
that they're in a permanent deal with Marvel Studios to lend Spider-Man and all his villains over there, right?
Mhm.
I think. I don't know for sure. And then I think Sony Animation, aren't they in the process of making the third Miles Morales movie?
They are, yeah. The release date keeps being pushed back.
Yeah, I think it keeps getting pushed back, but it's definitely in production. So at some point it's gonna come out. But it's definitely um is definitely something different from the MCU. And I think the thing that annoys me is that it is so confusing. It is so confusing for casual watchers of Spider-Man because it's like I always try to tell people, like, Sony Spider-Man is different from MCU Spider-Man. Tom Holland's
Mhm.
Spider-Man is not Sony creating Spider-Man, but instead Sony just ends up becoming the creative partner, whereas the MCU is doing all the heavy lifting in that regard. But I think it's a little confusing, and I understand why. I get it. I get it because there's a ton of Spider-Man movies out there, and but I'm excited for this next Spider-Man film. It's another MCU production, so it's bound to be good. And we're like a hop and a skip away from Doomsday, which is kind of coming out to be mind-boggling as far as what they plan on doing. Like I followed the directors that are going to be making those films, and they keep releasing all these crazy teasers. So I'm
Really?
freaking down. Yeah. Like we're technically supposed to be getting a trailer for that movie probably in the next couple of weeks because it's
What?
supposed to be
Doomsday?
shown. Yeah, it's supposed to be shown for during the new Avatar movie that's coming out. It's going to
Oh,
be
okay.
one of the trailers that's going to be shown before that movie. So that trailer is bound to hit the internet really soon.
Mm.
So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm ready. This thing's gonna be nuts. But
Yeah.
a lot of people are gonna need some. A lot of people are gonna need some refreshers on what's happening with the MCU.
Me especially. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
been keeping up with it um these past few movie releases. Like I have not seen Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
And I heard that one was good.
it's really good. I like it a lot.
Um I mean, yeah, it has the Winter Soldier in there. I love that guy. Um
And plus, the movie has a real emotional center to it. Like
mm,
if you like movies that kind of explore um uh uh what's the word I'm looking for? If you're looking for a movie that explores emotions and mental health, then that movie explores that a lot. I was really surprised to see an MCU movie that is so um emotionally based. But I enjoyed it
I'm
because of
gonna
it.
have to
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it this coming week. I can imagine it doing that just because the characters involved have you haven't really seen them past the main cast passing away.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steve Rogers is gone.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure that has a lot of weight to one of a few of the characters and then um Black Widow is dead too, and
Mm-hmm.
that's her sister, right? That's in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty sure it explores that a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Um yeah. And then I think them just coming to terms, I've seen the trailer. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just them coming to term. I think they've even said like we're the new Avengers or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The way they reveal it in the movie is really fun.
yeah. Um and that they've always done a good job with I think balancing those aspects of these films. Like there's enough comedic humor in it, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's enough times where they have to be like emotional or coming in contact with like serious things to the
Yeah.
story. So
Yeah. I
I
think.
that's why I've always liked the Marvel properties.
Yeah. I think especially the last two movies, like the Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts movie,
I need to
have
watch Fantastic
really
Four too.
emotionally grounded the superheroes, and I really appreciate it because of it. In all honesty.
Mm. Would you so you've seen the Fantastic Four movie. I have not
Yeah.
watched it. Um is it really good?
I would say I think as far as fantastic movies go and the original property, I think the Fantastic Four movie is really good. Um
Okay.
again, it's another Marvel product that was really emotional, and I was surprised by how what's the word I'm looking for? How much it made me, like, it hit home for me a couple of times. It really did hit home for me a couple of times, and I really enjoyed it. Especially being a father, it deals a lot with family issues, and it deals a lot with the anxieties of trying to keep a family together in the face of like this galactic threat. And the fact that they were able to incorporate characters into the movie that I've never seen done properly is freaking amazing. Not only that, but it's a cosmic movie in the MCU, which we don't have very many of good cosmic movies in the MCU. So I really appreciated that. Um,
Cosmic meaning.
meaning that these are part of the MCU that deals with gigantic cosmic entities. So in the MCU,
Okay.
you have like your regular Avengers threat, right? Which is usually Earthbound, and it's usually a powerful character, or sometimes it's a powerful alien, right?
Mhm.
But in the cosmic MCU, you have like these godlike beings that exist within the MCU that the superheroes have to face off with sometimes. And
Mm.
in the Fantastic Four, they go up against one of these godlike beings.
Mm.
And you just have like four humans who have these who have these superpowers, and they have to essentially outsmart a god, right? So that
Mm.
and if you like, another example of a cosmic Marvel movie would be like the Eternals, or
Yeah.
um even the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where they go up against Ego, the planet, right? He's
Oh,
another
okay.
godlike entity within the MCU. um and even Thor Love and Thunder, they go up against a cosmic entity, which is um, a being within the MCU that is just ridiculously powerful. And I'm glad that within the MCU they keep these godlike characters to the side a little bit because sometimes they could be a little overkill.
Hmm.
But it looks as if in Doomsday they may be playing in that arena again. So I am down, man. Like I love
That's
those kind of
cool.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's unavoidable too. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of have to add them. But like you're saying, they're finding this like happy medium of
Yeah.
introducing them.
Yeah. You got to
Um,
introduce them little by little.
yeah. Yeah. And just I think they're taking liberties with it as well because, I think they kind of they do a little bit of fixing here and there
Mm-hmm.
just for the movie iteration of it, which is
Yeah.
fine. I think that's cool. I it crazy to just dissect and compare the Marvel films to the DC films
Oh
and
yeah.
even
Yeah.
the just the Spider-Man films on its own.
Yeah. It's they're their own beasts. You kind of have to it's kind of like talking inside baseball, you just kind of you just kind of have to know, where each property came from and why and what ended up causing the downfall. The only reason, I mean, I'm a nerd for all this kind of stuff, so it's like it I'm a gigantic movie nerd and I'm a gigantic comic book nerd, so this is my forte, this is my arena, something that I've always been into. But like it's like a while back I said that I grew up around the time where superhero movies were at their worst, where it's like movie studios were screwing them up and none of them, a lot of them didn't stick to original source material, and then sometimes they would throw in random characters for the sake of trying to find something that'll stick and maybe they can start their own universe and so on and so forth. And it wasn't until the MCU came along where it's like they finally got the formula right.
Mhm.
So there was a before MCU times and an after MCU times. And it looks like DC could possibly have their own shared universe for the first time in a long time. That's done right, but we'll have to see what happens with this, Warner Brothers merger. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because every time you have one of these mergers, man, they end up relocating things or getting rid of projects or bringing new projects on, and you hope to God that your favorite project survives the move, but you never know. It's always a gamble.
I think it is also worrisome too that Netflix is buying them in
Mm-hmm.
that regard. Um, just because they're known to greenlight any property, but
Mm-hmm.
then they easily cancel any property as well
Oh
after
yeah. Yeah, they're
like
quick to
one
get rid of
season.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said last stream, I don't think that they're going to, especially seeing how successful this last run of DC films has been.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they'll stick to it.
I'm crossing my
Um,
fingers.
I am too, but I think they're seeing the light with movie production.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think a lot of studios are now. So I mean, Disney is still keeping at it. So
Yeah, it's true.
they managed to keep breaking box office records
Mm-hmm.
with some of their stuff. So
God,
I
man.
think Netflix is catching on.
Did you see how much? I don't know if we talked about it last time. I forgot, but did you see how much Zootopia 2
Zootopia.
made?
Um, I I read it briefly. I don't know how much it made.
I think the last time I looked at it, it made somewhere around $900 million. They're close to the $1 billion mark. I was like,
Hmm.
holy crap, man! Kid
Is
movies are
that
lucrative.
is that in the domestic box office or what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
In which category?
I that's a good question, but I believe that may include international markets as well.
Let me look this up because it's gonna bother me for
Because
stream
I
before
know
ending stream.
I know it's doing right. I know it's doing really well in the Chinese market.
Mm.
Um, and so usually the Chinese market is a make or break for a lot of properties, especially as far as the international box office goes.
I So this is where I'm kind of like stunted by this news. I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't not believe that it's making this much money, right? What
Oh,
I
here?
don't believe, like just in general, like
Mm-hmm.
I can believe that it's making this much money uh worldwide. But I
Mm-hmm.
thought that I heard that um Demon Slayer, the last Demon Slayer movie had
Yeah.
reached this mark and even more
I wonder, because
than
Demon
this.
Slayer has been sitting in theaters. Let's see, how long has it been in theaters now?
No, it's out of theaters now.
Oh, I
It's been
see.
a while.
So,
Yeah, but I heard that
Netflix,
it broke this record.
Zootopia 2. So, currently, Jesus Christ. Okay, so according to Deadline, which is a pretty reliable source whenever it comes to movies,
Mhm.
Zootopia 2 is crossing 1 billion global box office today. So that's global box office.
Yeah.
They crossed $1 billion. God.
Mhm.
Let's see. According to them, two hundred and
Okay.
thirty-two point seven million is from domestic, and 753.4 million is from the international box office.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So it looks as if this is coming from, and then like the biggest international box office is, like I said, it's usually China and Europe are usually where those numbers come from. Let me see what Demon Slayer.
Okay, never mind. It raked in over 780 million.
Okay, but still,
So
for an
so it
anime
um
movie,
so it
that's
almost made
huge.
it.
Yeah.
But I thought it hit billion. I
Let's
guess I
see.
read it wrong.
Which Demon
But
Slayer was this one? What is it called? The
Infinity Castle.
Infinity Castle. Yeah.
It's the highest grossing Japanese film
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
worldwide. Mhm.
Yeah, that is huge numbers for an anime movie.
Mhm.
It just goes to show how mainstream it is now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's recording. Let's see, 2025 worldwide box office. Holy crap, man!
Still a
Um,
lot of money. But
yes,
that's crazy though that Zootopia
worldwide
hit billion.
664 million, and then domestically, which I okay, this is what I don't understand. Whenever they say domestic, is that American numbers or are we talking? Because domestic for them would be Japan, yes.
Yeah, it would be Japan. Yeah,
So
it
domestically
came
they
from there.
made 134 .3 million, and
Mm.
worldwide they made 664.2 million. So that's what
Oh,
brings
okay.
it to its 740. But
Mm.
God, that is insane.
I can't even conceive the number billion.
Yeah.
Can't even
But
I
the
can't
fact
even
that Disney's walking away with $1 billion franchise again. Oh my god. See, cuz I was worried. My thing was, and I know we need to get off stream. We're going over. But my thing was is that I thought that movies making $1 billion was kind of a dead in the water, right? Because with the recession that we're seeing, and then overall just the way movies were performing, like very few movies were breaking even the 600 million mark. And then Demon
Mhm.
Slayers comes along and it breaks the 700 million mark, and now we got Zootopia 2. So maybe the movie theater economy is coming back.
It is.
We can only hope.
I've hey, I've always said so. I
Yeah.
think I I think it's all in the property.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the marketing.
Yeah.
Disney wants to say that people don't want original properties. No, it's because you guys market really bad. Like your
Yeah.
marketing
They
for these
really
movies
do. They
are so
really
bad.
do.
And then also your writing for these original properties is so bad because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to show certain certain topics or certain things in their movies, and that's just no. But just let your creators do what they want to do initially. Stop
Right.
putting your hand in the jar,
Mm-hmm.
and pick a good marketing team for
Yeah.
crying out loud,
Yeah.
because
For all the
it's
money that they spend on marketing, which is usually on the upwards of $200 million, you guys need to start getting your properties out there. Just like
Mhm.
I haven't heard squat about the new Wonder Man show that's going to be coming out literally in about a month. And so far I haven't heard hardly anything about that show. And I don't know what I don't know. Disney has gone through is currently going through down a weird path of like where they're allocating their expenses. Like they just got through spending like I think they just got through spending $1 billion to transfer or to open their properties to open AI.
yeah.
They got into a deal with OpenAI, so I guess at some point they're going to start implementing AI characters within video games and stuff like that. And I know they've been talking about creating a shared video game universe within the Fortnite world and all that. And Fortnite has played around with AI characters, and I'm pretty sure that's where that's going towards. But man, that's a weird place to put your money instead of like putting your money towards the thing that actually like helps you cultivate IPs. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a weird pivot, and I think it has more to do with the owner of Disney right now, the Bob Iger.
Mm.
He's a real shrewd whenever it comes to profits and
He's money
allocating
grubbing.
expenses. Yes, he's
He
very,
only
very much a money grubber.
he only sees in dollar signs
Exactly.
when he should be just caring about the creativity of
Mm-hmm.
just the core what is the word?
The thing that
The
makes
core
you,
idea
yeah,
that made Disney
the things
Disney,
that actually help you make the money. You know what I mean?
which is creativity,
Exactly.
which was, that's literally what Walt Disney was trying to it's
Yeah.
his freaking slogan for
Mm-hmm.
crying out loud.
Yes.
Um But yeah, no, people only see in dollar signs, and we can only just hope that other studios, being loud about their creativity
Mm-hmm.
can like knock them down a peg.
Let's hope so. Like I
Yeah.
I I don't f- I am disappointed. Well, not really disappointed, but I can see where Disney's kind of like, hey, we're going to be creating these video game properties, and it would be good to have these characters within an AI models, so that way, I don't know if you had played Fortnite whenever they had the Star Wars campaign going on. But essentially, what they ended up doing is that they had a boss. They had Darth Vader on the map, and he was a boss, right? And if you defeated him, he would join your fire team. But you could talk to Darth Vader. He was actually an AI bot that was using the voice of Darth Vader, right? James Earl
Okay.
Jones. And it was a really cool concept to be able to talk to Darth Vader, and he would talk to you in character, and you could ask him questions about the Star Wars universe, and he would answer them as Darth Vader. It was really cool as a Star Wars fan, and I can understand how AI can be used towards the implementation of UI interaction, right? You being able to interact with video game characters and them being able to realistically interact with you in character, right? And I know that Disney has a gigantic deal with Epic Games where they're essentially creating a whole world for Disney within using the Epic Games engine. You right? Like right now, Epic currently has an entire world dedicated to Lego. They have an entire world dedicated to like Fall Guys and Rocket League, as well as a number of different properties within the Fortnite arena, like different game modes, right? Like it's becoming its own, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like it's its own gaming platform essentially, right? Um and they're going to be creating one for Disney as well. And I'm pretty sure this is where the whole AI thing is getting put into play. But I don't know, it's just a weird pivot. It feels weird because even though video games are becoming more and more mainstream, they are essentially, video games are a whole arena of entertainment, whereas beforehand it used to be a niche product, but now it's like it's a gigantic mainstream product now, right? Like who doesn't game nowadays? So I get why they would start pouring money into that, but it feels yucky, right? It feels
Yeah,
yucky
the way they're
that,
going about it.
yeah, it feels weird that you would be then, if it feels weird that Disney would then be like, all right, here's all of our characters, create AI models of these because we want to be able to put them in video games, right? And
Yeah.
we've already seen a taste of this within Fortnite. So it's like we've said before, right? There's a time and place for AI. AI within video games, as far as like being able to carry out certain features, like AI NPCs that can interact with a player realistically, is interesting, right? I think that's an interesting concept. That's kind of what gamers have always kind of wanted, right? An NPC that was realistic. But then this feature also comes with this with the stipulation that, okay, now you have to feed all these characters into AI, and it just starts melding. It starts melding art with AI, and I think that's where it feels kind of disgusting, right? We, as artists, we don't want our products fed into AI, but then we're also talking about Disney products. These aren't, these are owned by Disney. These are owned by a corporation, and they have the final say on what happens with, all this art and creativity. So I don't know, man. Like it feels bad. It feels bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like, no, I get why they're doing it, but it's a weird pivot because you also, like, I would feel better if they were doing this and pouring money into creative programs and projects that highlighted and boosted more IPs, right? But then by Disney doing that, you also have to know that whatever IP that is created within Disney is probably at some point going to be fed into AI, right? So it's like, what are you gonna do? Like you got, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't on an intuitive level, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll see more as the weeks come on.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see some pushback or some better news, hopefully.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and tie up this stream.
Alrighty.
Do you feel like you finished your piece? It looks like you.
God, no, I did not. But it's okay.
What do you mean?
Well, the only thing that I think I want to add to it is some highlights.
Okay.
And I wanna kind of like solidify some shadows. But outside of that, it's pretty close.
Mhm.
Like I was able to lay down some of the base shadows. And I put in some an idea that I got from you, which is colored line work. So
Hmm.
I like where it's at. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this off stream, and then I'll put the speed paint online probably on Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it
Thank
came
you.
out the
And
way you
dude, you
wanted
have
it
a
to.
whole illustrative piece. It looks amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't really like drawing guys. Um, I
They
need
are
to
kind of
work on that
boring.
more. Yeah. Well, no, but yeah, but women just have more curvies.
It's
Like
true. It's a
it's
lot
just
more
fun
fun
drawing
to
women.
draw the
Yeah.
curves. Yeah.
But I mean, I just gotta be more in tune with it. I think it's just more fun to draw him as a chibi.
Right?
Uh, it's funny drawing a
It's more
character like
expressive.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he's such an expressive character to narrow him down to a human form is
Mm-hmm.
really weird. So yeah, but I did like this challenge. Challenge myself to draw a male character.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came out the way I wanted him to. I just need a little bit more practice at drawing um the male figure, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's whenever I found, well, you know, whenever I was younger, I started off drawing mostly dudes because I was drawing out of comic books, and then I slowly started drawing women, and then you just end up finding out that drawing women is just a whole lot more fun.
It is.
They're prettier, you know what I mean?
But all
But
right, I think that's a good spot to end our stream.
mhm.
Thanks everyone for joining us again today. It was good to see you all. Thanks for joining us and seeing our basically finished products of this challenge that one of our viewers gave us. Stay tuned to our social medias for maybe voting on our next challenge.
Mhm.
Me and Esso will go over it for next stream. But check out our several social medias at these tags. Esso has added them here at the bottom. You can find me at Lily Lilac Draws on most everything, mainly Instagram, mainly TikTok. You can find Esso at Esso Art Studio on TikTok, Threads, Instagram as well. All the links are down below. Um, Thanks again for joining us, and remember, guys, stay creative.
Bye everyone.